Man encounters two mysterious men while exploring an area of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is one of the most breathtaking natural wonders on Earth, attracting millions of visitors each year. Its vast, layered rock formations and deep gorges are a testament to the power of nature and the passage of time. Yet, beyond its stunning beauty and geological history, some believe that the Grand Canyon holds secrets that are intentionally hidden from the public eye. There have long been whispers of mysterious activity in areas not accessible to tourists, areas said to be guarded by individuals who resemble the elusive men in black. Numerous accounts from independent explorers and curious hikers have raised questions about what might really be going on in the more secluded parts of the canyon. These are not the well-known trails or scenic lookouts, but the lesser-known regions far from the beaten path. One man who decided to wander into one of these areas described an unsettling encounter with two men dressed in black suits. According to him, the men seemed to have appeared out of nowhere. They were not park rangers, nor did they wear any official identification. They simply told him to leave the area, warning that he might fall into a crevice and never be seen again if he didn't comply. The man took this as a veiled threat and left immediately, vowing never to return. What struck him most was not just the appearance of the men, but how much they seemed to know. They called him by name and described exactly where he had been and where he was heading next. He claimed he hadn't told anyone of his plans and hadn't encountered another person that day. The experience left him with a sense of unease that lingered long after he left the canyon. He hadn't been searching for anything unusual, only exploring out of curiosity, but the interaction made him believe there was more to the Grand Canyon than most people realized. Over the years, other explorers have reported similarly strange experiences. Some describe spotting figures dressed in black suits watching them from a distance, only for these figures to vanish when approached. In other cases, vehicles have been seen parked in remote areas where access should be impossible. Those who attempt to investigate often feel as if they are being followed, and sometimes their electronic devices malfunction or stop working entirely in these zones. These stories have led to growing speculation that something hidden lies deep within the canyon, possibly underground facilities, ancient artifacts, or unknown technology. Some suggest that certain regions are off-limits not because of safety, but because they are being actively guarded. The consistent description of the men in black, well-dressed, silent, and authoritative, has added fuel to the theory that a secret presence operates within the Grand Canyon. Whether these tales are rooted in fact or fueled by imagination, they continue to intrigue those who are drawn to the canyon's remote corners. One thing is certain: the Grand Canyon holds far more than just rock and river. It may also hold mysteries that some would prefer to remain undiscovered. Man vanishes after finding a mysterious M-shaped cave in the desert. The unexplained disappearance of Vich continues to baffle investigators, outdoor enthusiasts, and internet sleuths alike. Vich, a 47-year-old seasoned hiker, vanished in November 2014 while searching for a strange cave he had previously encountered in the Nevada desert. What began as a simple online comment turned into a real-life mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Vich was well known among his friends and family for his passion for hiking and adventure. He frequently explored remote desert terrain alone, particularly in the Mojave and Great Basin deserts of Nevada and California. His hiking style was minimalistic. He rarely brought more than the bare essentials with him, avoiding GPS devices or even a map and compass. While this ultralight approach may have worked in the past, it also increased the risk during solo treks in challenging terrain. Using the YouTube handle snakebitmanji, Vich occasionally commented on videos related to mysteries and desert explorations. His nickname originated from an incident in which he was bitten by a rattlesnake, a result of his habit of picking up snakes he encountered on his hikes. In June of 2014, Vich posted a comment under a YouTube video, and in the comment, Vich described finding an unusual M-shaped cave during one of his hikes near the Nellis Air Force Base, approximately 7 miles from the perimeter of the secretive military installation. According to Vich, when he approached and began to enter the cave, he felt a powerful vibration course through his body. The sensation intensified the closer he got to the cave's interior, filling him with dread. Alarmed and confused, he quickly retreated and made his way back to safety. His story captured the attention of many online viewers who were fascinated by the idea of a mysterious cave potentially located near a restricted military zone. Several commenters encouraged him to return and document the cave on video. Vich agreed and returned to the area with a video camera, sharing his journey on YouTube. In the video, he failed to locate the M cave, but the footage did show him near an old mine shaft where he explained the details of his search and plans to continue looking. Viewers, still captivated, pushed him to try again. Determined, Vich set out for a third attempt on November 10, 2014, telling his family he was embarking on a 2-day hike. He never returned. When he failed to come home, his family contacted authorities, prompting an official search. 10 days later, rescuers discovered Vich's cell phone at the very mine shaft he had shown in his video. This was the only physical trace of him ever found. The discovery raised more questions than answers. Why had he left his phone behind, especially in such a remote and rugged location? Had he fallen into the mine shaft or wandered off and become lost? Extensive searches were launched, involving more than 30 rescue personnel, tracking dogs, and aerial sweeps by helicopter, yet no further clues emerged. Online speculation surrounding Vich's disappearance grew quickly. Some believed he may have stumbled across something he wasn't meant to see, perhaps a hidden military site, a concealed entrance to a mysterious military installation, or even something unexplainable. Others suggested a more grounded explanation, that Kenny's minimalist hiking style may have finally caught up with him, resulting in an accident far from any trail or help. Adding another layer to the mystery, a woman identifying herself as Vich's girlfriend posted a heartfelt comment under his final video. She expressed her belief that Kenny had been struggling emotionally for some time. According to her, he had recently quit his job and had been dealing with internal battles that may have contributed to his disappearance. Though she acknowledged his love for hiking and adventure, she suggested that his final journey may have been more personal than it first appeared. Her insight offered a potential explanation, but it didn't settle the matter for those who had followed Vich's story from the beginning. Many remained unconvinced that a person as experienced and careful in the wilderness as Vich would simply vanish without a trace. Others pointed to the cave's mysterious energy and its proximity to government land as signs of something more secretive at play. To this day, no definitive evidence has surfaced to confirm what happened to Kenny Vich. Despite thorough searches and public attention, he remains missing, and the cave he described has never been located by any confirmed source. Whether it was a natural accident, an intentional departure, or something more mysterious, the case continues to captivate those drawn to the unexplained. Kenny Vich's story is both tragic and mysterious. It serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers that can come with solo hiking in unforgiving terrain, as well as the enduring human fascination with the unknown. Whether he was simply an adventurous spirit who met with misfortune or someone who truly encountered something beyond explanation, Kenny's disappearance remains one of the most mysterious, unsolved cases of the Nevada desert. The mystery of the Jetpack Man. The skies over Los Angeles have become the center of one of aviation's most puzzling mysteries in recent years, the mysterious appearance of what many are calling the Jetpack Man. Multiple credible reports from commercial pilots and air traffic controllers have detailed sightings of a humanoid figure flying at high altitudes, often in proximity to major aircraft near Los Angeles International Airport. These sightings have been taken seriously enough to be forwarded to the Federal Aviation Administration and even the FBI, yet no one has been able to confirm exactly who or what is responsible. The most recent encounter took place just outside of Los Angeles International Airport. An air traffic controller could be heard warning a SkyWest flight about the possible return of the Jetman. What makes this all the more fascinating is that these reports are not new. Similar sightings have occurred repeatedly over the past few years, many of them clustered in the same geographic area near LAX. Witnesses consistently describe a human-like figure flying at altitudes as high as 5,000 feet, with the ability to keep pace with, and in some instances overtake, commercial aircraft. In one report from the Federal Aviation Administration, a Boeing 747 pilot claimed to have seen what resembled a person using a jetpack 15 miles east of LAX. The air traffic controller's response, as captured in recordings, was both calm and astonishing. They alerted other flights, warning them to use caution and humorously referred to the figure as Iron Man. Pilots from SkyWest and Evergreen Airlines acknowledged the warning, with one admitting they had looked for the object but did not see anything. This isn't an isolated incident. Last year, 4 separate pilots reported similar sightings around the same area, and more recently, pilots in England described encountering flying humanoids traveling at incredible speeds. The idea that this might be someone using a traditional jetpack was initially considered. However, industry experts like David Mayman, CEO of Jetpack Aviation, cast doubt on that theory. He noted that the fuel capacity of current jetpack models is limited to only 5 to 10 minutes of flight, making high-altitude, long-distance travel unlikely. In addition, jetpacks are extremely loud, and any launch or landing would most certainly draw attention. Yet no such events have ever been recorded near any of the sightings. This has led to more unconventional theories. Some aviation enthusiasts suggest the figure might not be a person at all, but rather an unidentified aerial phenomenon mimicking the appearance of a human. This would explain the rapid speeds, sudden directional changes, and the eerie silence that seems to accompany each event. The lack of photo or video evidence adds to the mystery, particularly in an era where nearly every moment is captured by someone, somewhere. What puzzles many is how this flying figure is able to appear, travel alongside commercial planes at regulated airspace altitudes, and vanish without detection. Pilots have described the figure moving with a precision and speed that does not match any known personal flight technology currently available to the public. If it were simply an advanced drone with a humanoid frame, questions still remain about its capabilities and who is operating it. The possibility that this is an unidentified flying object shaped like a person is, while speculative, not entirely dismissed by observers. The aviation community has become increasingly open to documenting and discussing such unexplained phenomena, especially when verified professionals report them. The fact that multiple commercial pilots and air traffic control towers have logged similar experiences over an extended period makes this case particularly compelling. For now, the identity of the so-called jetpack man remains unsolved. Whether it is an experimental aircraft, a cleverly disguised drone, or something entirely different, it continues to spark curiosity and debate. Until more evidence emerges, the skies over Los Angeles will remain a point of mystery, haunted by the image of a lone flying figure seemingly defying the laws of physics and logic. The mysterious Travis Walton case. In the early evening hours of November 5, 1975, shortly after 6 in the evening, 7 contracted loggers were making their way home after a long day of work in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. They were traveling in a pickup truck driven by their crew leader, Michael Rogers, heading toward their hometown of Snowflake, Arizona. The group, which included Travis Walton, Ken Peterson, John Goulette, Steve Pierce, Alan Dallas, and Dwayne Smith, were casually talking when they suddenly noticed an unusual illumination coming from the wooded area bordering the road. At first, they suspected it might be a forest fire, and their attention sharpened immediately, concerned that they could become trapped. According to the Mutual UFO Network's documentation, as the truck approached a rise in the road where the light appeared to originate, the men saw what looked like a large metallic disc hovering in a clearing. The object emitted a strong light that brightly lit up the surrounding area. Rogers, clearly stunned by the sight, brought the vehicle to a halt. Almost immediately, and without discussing it with the others, Walton jumped out of the truck and began walking toward the glowing object. Despite the desperate shouts and warnings from the rest of the crew urging him to come back, Walton advanced steadily until he stood directly beneath the unidentified craft. A loud mechanical sound, reminiscent of turbines, soon filled the air, and the hovering disc began to wobble slightly. At that moment, perhaps sensing something was about to occur, Walton hesitated and took a few steps back. That's when a beam of bluish-green light shot out. According to UFO investigator Jerome Clark, the men watching from the truck saw the beam strike Walton in the chest. He was lifted off the ground, arms and legs extended, and then propelled backward about 10 feet. He stayed suspended in the beam's glow for a few seconds before being thrown down forcefully, as though jolted by a powerful electric shock. He landed heavily on his shoulder, and his body hit the ground in a limp, motionless heap. To the rest of the group, it appeared that he might not have survived. Terrified and overwhelmed by what they had just witnessed, the remaining 6 men fled the scene in a panic. What followed next has been described with slight variations in different accounts, but the core events remain consistent. After their initial flight, the men decided to go back to the site to look for Walton, hoping to rescue him if he was still alive, but when they returned to the exact location, he had vanished. Although they were certain they had come back to the right place, there was no sign of him anywhere. Now filled with growing dread and uncertainty, the group drove to a shopping plaza in the nearby town of Heber. Though the timeline is not agreed upon exactly, sometime between 7:30 and 8 in the evening, Ken Peterson placed a phone call to the local authorities. He spoke with Deputy Sheriff Chuck Ellison, initially reporting only that a member of their team had gone missing. Nevertheless, Ellison agreed to meet them at their location to hear more. Upon his arrival, he was met by 6 visibly shaken men, several of whom were on the verge of breaking down emotionally. It was then that they revealed the full extent of what they had experienced. Understandably, Deputy Chuck Ellison was taken aback by the extraordinary nature of the story he was hearing. Yet, he later commented that if the men were pretending, their performances were incredibly convincing. Their emotional state and genuine distress did not seem fabricated. Given the strange and serious nature of the claims, Ellison decided to contact his superior, Sheriff Marlin Gillespie. The sheriff instructed him to ask the crew to stay at the shopping center under supervision until he could get there in person. Around 9 in the evening, Sheriff Gillespie and police officer Ken Copeland arrived in Heber to meet the visibly shaken group. By that point, anxiety among the men, especially Michael Rogers, had escalated. Frustrated by what he felt was inaction, Rogers urged the officers to begin a search immediately and insisted on returning to the location where the event had occurred. Although no police dogs were available for the search, a team of officers accompanied by Rogers, Ken Peterson, and Alan Dallas went back to the site. Despite their efforts, there was no trace of Travis Walton. Moreover, there was no physical evidence to suggest anything unusual had taken place, leading authorities to question the credibility of the story. While the search team scoured the area, the rest of the group headed back to Snowflake, where they informed family members and friends about the strange circumstances surrounding Walton's disappearance. As night fell and temperatures dropped sharply, the search had to be paused until morning. Police were concerned for Walton's safety, given that he was last seen wearing only a light jacket, jeans, and a shirt, far from adequate protection against the freezing nighttime conditions of the forest. Meanwhile, Rogers and Officer Copeland went to visit Walton's mother, Mary Walton Kellett, to inform her of the situation and relay the details shared by the witnesses. Copeland later recalled being surprised by her calm and somewhat distant demeanor. After listening to Rogers recount the incident, she asked him to repeat it. Her first question afterward was whether anyone outside of law enforcement or the crew was aware of the event. Copeland noted that her reaction seemed unusual for a parent hearing that her child had gone missing, which only deepened his uncertainty about what might have actually happened. However, those familiar with Mary Kellett's personality described her as someone who kept her emotions guarded, especially in public. Having raised 6 children on her own under challenging circumstances, she had developed a strong sense of resilience and emotional self-control. In the days that followed, though, it became increasingly clear that the situation was taking a toll on her. That night, she reached out to her son, Dwayne, who lived in Glendale, Arizona. Upon hearing the news, he quickly made the trip to Snowflake. By the next morning, November 6th, a larger search effort was organized. With daylight aiding the operation, many more people, including local volunteers, joined the police in combing the area. Despite the expanded team, there was still no sign of Walton. Behind the scenes, some authorities began to suspect that the story involving an unidentified flying object might have been fabricated to cover up an accident, or perhaps something more deliberate. It didn't take long for the story to reach the media. Within days, reporters from various sensationalist tabloids began to arrive, along with investigators from the UFO research community, some with serious intentions, others less so. One of the first to investigate the claims was Fred Sylvanus, a UFO researcher from Phoenix. Although it's unclear whether Sylvanus acted with integrity or not, the interviews he conducted with Michael Rogers and Dwayne Walton would later be cited by skeptics as evidence against the authenticity of the case. Both men had voiced strong criticisms about the police response, which may have further shaped public opinion. One particular issue that has raised questions over the years is Roger's comment that, due to the incident, he would no longer be able to fulfill the terms of his logging contract. While this detail could be entirely coincidental, it is often pointed to as a possible motive if the story had been exaggerated or constructed in some way. If financial pressure was mounting, the situation could have potentially provided an excuse or distraction. Dwayne Walton, Travis's brother, also made statements that would become a focal point for critics. He shared that both he and Travis had held a long-standing fascination with unidentified flying objects. Dwayne even said that he had witnessed such a phenomenon himself more than a decade earlier. Voluntarily, he revealed that the two brothers had once made an informal agreement. If either of them ever encountered a UFO, they would try to get as close as possible. In some versions of the story, this even extended to an intent to attempt boarding such a craft. These admissions have often been used by skeptics to question the credibility of the claims. Critics argue that a pre-existing interest in UFOs, coupled with a stated desire to experience one up close, could indicate a predisposition to interpret, or even stage, an event through that lens. Before continuing with the broader implications, it's important to revisit the logging contract. While it may seem like a minor detail, it's the one part of the story that some consider to be a potential weak point. If any element of the account were manufactured or exaggerated, the financial strain related to the contract might offer a possible motivation. Whether this connection is valid or merely speculative remains a matter of debate. The combination of an unusual disappearance, a deeply emotional group of witnesses, and the involvement of extraterrestrial claims created a story that quickly captured national attention. While some saw it as a genuine and troubling incident, others viewed it through a lens of skepticism, especially as more personal and logistical details began to surface. For many, the mystery remains unresolved, suspended between extraordinary belief and cautious doubt. As time passed with no sign of Travis Walton and repeated searches in the Turkey Springs area turning up nothing, suspicion increasingly turned toward the logging crew. Given the extreme cold during the first 2 nights and the amount of time that had elapsed since his disappearance, authorities quietly began shifting their mindset from a rescue operation to the possibility of retrieving a body. After 2 full days without any results, investigators approached the crew with the suggestion of taking polygraph examinations. The men had previously offered to take any kind of test that would prove they were telling the truth. Cy Gilson, a well-regarded polygraph examiner known for his accuracy and fairness, was assigned to conduct the tests. Each crew member passed their test without difficulty, except for Alan Dallas. While his results didn't indicate deception, they were deemed inconclusive. It was no secret that Dallas and Walton had a strained relationship, which further raised doubts among investigators. Despite the rest of the team standing by their version of events, Dallas began to be viewed with suspicion. Interestingly, nearly 20 years later, in 1993, Gilson retested Rogers, Dallas, and Walton using advanced computerized polygraph equipment. All 3 passed successfully. In the midst of swirling suspicion and tension, something unexpected occurred late at night on November 10th. Just after midnight, Travis Walton's sister, Grant Neff, received a phone call. On the other end of the line was Travis himself. His voice was panicked and disoriented. Despite his confusion, she was able to determine he was calling from an Exxon gas station in the nearby area. Grant's husband, accompanied by Walton's brother Dwayne, immediately left for the town of Heber. When they arrived, they found Travis collapsed on the floor inside the phone booth, exhausted and overwhelmed. Years later, in his book, The Walton Experience, Travis would describe what he recalled upon regaining consciousness. He said he awoke lying face down with his head resting on his outstretched arm. He was struck by the frigid air and became fully alert in an instant. Above him, he noticed a brilliant light coming from what appeared to be the underside of a shining, curved object. He then recognized the reflective surface of a large metallic disc hovering silently above him. Walton estimated the craft to be roughly 40 feet in length. It floated above him briefly, and as he remained still, he could see the night sky, trees and road markings mirrored on its polished surface. He then felt a wave of warmth on his exposed skin, moments before the object ascended straight into the sky at an incredible speed. What stood out most to him was the complete absence of sound as the craft vanished. Once Walton was recovered, Duane brought him first to their mother's home, and then to a hospital in Phoenix. After some hesitation, the family allowed the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization to take the lead in the case. The organization quickly arranged for Walton to be evaluated by 2 independent physicians. According to Walton, his final clear memory before the incident was being hit by a beam of intense light while standing beneath the hovering disc. His next awareness came in a completely different environment, lying on a flat, inclined surface resembling a medical bed. The air was thick and damp, and his entire body ached. A bright light shone down on him, and every breath felt labored and painful. At first, Walton thought he might be in a hospital. However, that assumption changed quickly when he noticed 3 unusual figures standing around him. They wore matching orange suits, but their appearance made it instantly obvious that they were not human. Each was around 5 feet tall, with oversized bald heads and very large eyes that appeared mostly dark, with little visible white. Their other facial features were notably small. In hindsight, Walton recognized them as similar to what people often describe as grey aliens. Overwhelmed with fear, Walton jumped off the bed and stood up. He began yelling at the figures, warning them to stay back. He grabbed what looked like a clear cylindrical object from a nearby shelf, intending to break it and use it defensively. However, the object wouldn't break, so he continued to brandish it while backing away. Surprisingly, the beings retreated and exited the room without resistance. After pausing for a few moments, Walton followed and left the room as well. Travis Walton described continuing down a hallway until he entered a circular room where a peculiar chair with an unusually tall backrest stood at its center. Curious and cautious, he stepped further inside. As he did, lights began illuminating the space, revealing more of the mysterious interior. Convinced that he was alone, Walton approached and sat in the chair. When he did, more lights activated above him, reminding him of a ceiling one might find in a planetarium. He recalled that the left arm of the chair featured a short, thick lever with a strangely shaped grip, while the right side had a lime green display that gave off a soft glow. When he moved the lever, the lights around him rotated and shifted positions. Realizing he had no clear understanding of what any of the equipment might actually do, he chose to leave the chair. As soon as he stood, the lights overhead went dark. Suddenly, a sound came from behind him. Turning quickly, Walton saw a tall figure in what resembled a helmet with a visor, dressed in a blue outfit. Walton attempted to speak to the figure, asking several questions, but received no reply. Instead, the individual gestured for him to follow. Still disoriented, but with few options, Walton complied. He was led down another corridor and then down a sloped ramp, eventually arriving in a massive chamber resembling an aircraft hangar. There, he realized the walkway had led him out of a disc-shaped craft. Inside the hangar, he could see 2 other similar crafts parked on the floor in front of him. Following Walton's reappearance, numerous theories emerged about what might have actually happened to him. One idea suggested he may have been attacked and later awoke in a medical facility, confused and disoriented. Under this scenario, his mind created a false memory of a spacecraft interior. However, this explanation struggles to address how the other crew members also reported seeing the unidentified object before Walton vanished. Additionally, if Walton had been the victim of an attack, questions remain regarding who would have carried it out and for what reason. There were no signs of trauma consistent with such a scenario, and toxicology tests revealed no presence of substances that could have induced hallucinations or confusion. One less commonly mentioned detail is that shortly after Walton returned, he and his brother Duane met with Dr. James Harder, a consultant with the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. In an effort to retrieve any repressed memories and verify his story, Walton agreed to undergo hypnosis, with Dr. Harder overseeing the session. What stood out during this process was that Walton's conscious recollections and subconscious responses were identical. However, his memory only extended to about 2 hours after the beam had hit him, and he could not recall anything beyond that. Both Walton and Dr. Harder believed that his mind was being blocked from accessing further memories, as though a barrier had been put in place intentionally. Walton even stated that trying to push through that boundary gave him the overwhelming sensation that doing so might cause him serious harm. There were also physical signs that supported the idea that Walton had been gone for an extended period. He had a full beard and appeared malnourished. Still, medical evaluations indicated that while he may not have eaten properly, he had likely received enough basic nutrition and fluids to prevent serious health consequences. His electrolyte levels, for example, were normal, something unlikely had he truly gone without nourishment for 5 full days. Whoever or whatever had been responsible for his disappearance seemed to have taken care not to cause lasting harm, suggesting a level of awareness and concern that some interpret as evidence of intentional, controlled treatment. Adding to the intrigue were reports from other individuals in the area on the same day Walton reappeared. One witness recalled seeing a formation of orange lights arranged in a V shape flying over her home. After watching for a short time, she blacked out and later found herself seated in a large chair inside a dimly lit room. She remembered seeing human-like figures moving through a nearby doorway before she abruptly found herself back in her home with no idea how she had returned. Travis Walton's mysterious disappearance in 1975 has captivated researchers, skeptics, and the general public for decades. He maintains that he was struck by an intense beam of light while working with his forestry crew and awoke days later with vivid memories of unfamiliar surroundings and non-human beings. The consistent testimonies from his co-workers, most of whom passed polygraph tests, along with unusual medical findings, have led many to believe that Walton may have experienced an extraordinary event. Skeptics continue to question the case, pointing to possible motivations such as financial gain or a fascination with UFO lore that might have inspired a hoax. Doubts have also been fueled by the fact that Walton and his brother had shown interest in extraterrestrial phenomena before the incident. Furthermore, one of the crew's polygraph results was inconclusive, and the situation with a demanding logging contract has raised eyebrows about a potential motive. Yet for others, the length of Walton's disappearance, the consistency of witness accounts, and the strange physical details that followed defy simple explanations. Whether viewed as an elaborate deception or a genuine case of contact with something beyond our understanding, the Travis Walton case remains one of the most discussed and controversial incidents in the history of unexplained phenomena. The story continues to provoke debate, inspire investigation, and challenge perceptions of what may be possible. Yellowstone National Park holds a revered status as one of the premier national parks in the United States, standing as the second most frequented after the Great Smoky Mountains. Upon contemplating Yellowstone, a tapestry of remarkable landscapes unfolds before one's eyes, evoking images of breathtaking vistas, the iconic geyser whose eruption spectacle dazzles spectators multiple times daily, and the colossal supervolcano that lies concealed beneath the park's surface. The allure of Yellowstone extends beyond its superficial beauty, encompassing a rich tapestry of geological wonders, diverse ecosystems, and a mosaic of wildlife found within its expansive boundaries. In the realm of subjects concerning the national park, there is a notion that often evades common conversation: mysterious, human-like entities. Several individuals who have ventured into the national park have come forth with their testimonies and experiences, asserting that they have indeed witnessed a being resembling a human, but covered in fur, standing impressively tall at heights ranging from 7 to 9 feet. This peculiar entity bears a striking similarity to the legendary Bigfoot, a creature many believe to be real, although sightings are infrequent, and it appears to purposefully avoid human contact. However, a significant challenge with such accounts lies in substantiating them with concrete evidence. Most witnesses find themselves unable to provide proof, attributed to the fleeting nature of these encounters, leaving individuals puzzled and uncertain about the reality of what they experienced. Despite this, a singular individual managed to capture compelling evidence of an alleged Bigfoot sighting within the confines of Yellowstone National Park. These reports and sightings have prompted intrigue and debate across the United States, with varying degrees of belief in the existence of this elusive creature. The mystery surrounding such encounters continues to fuel curiosity and speculation, adding an element of intrigue and wonder to the fabric of the national park folklore. Upon being shared in an internet community dedicated to delving into mysterious beings, this image was presented by a person affirming, that it originated from a real-time camera that provides updates on a minute-to-minute basis. This significantly enhances the narrative and adds to the depth of understanding for those intrigued by such phenomena. The entity under scrutiny appears to differ significantly from the buffalo visible nearby, sparking speculation that this mysterious being may surpass a height of 7 feet. This observation has led to conjecture among onlookers regarding the towering stature of this strange creature, which stands in stark contrast to the familiar bison in the vicinity. Yellowstone National Park stands as a unique sanctuary in the United States, where the majestic bison have thrived uninterrupted since ancient times. What sets the Yellowstone bison apart is their status as the largest bison population on public lands across the nation. This exceptional herd, consisting of thousands of individuals, is granted the freedom to traverse the vast expanse of the park and certain adjacent regions in Montana. The Yellowstone bison's unbroken lineage and expansive range contribute to their distinction among bison herds, offering a glimpse into a prehistoric landscape where these iconic creatures roam freely, embodying a vital link to America's natural history. Male bison, also known as bulls, can reach impressive weights of around 2,000 pounds and towering heights of approximately 6 feet. On the other hand, the female counterparts have a weight range of up to 1,000 pounds and a height varying between 4 to 5 feet. Upon comparing this being with the bison, it became evident to many observers that it stands significantly taller, prompting them to dismiss the notion that it could be a mere hiker. The substantial height difference between the two creatures sparked skepticism regarding the possibility of it being a human on a hiking expedition. Eyewitness accounts from individuals asserting sightings of a Bigfoot within Yellowstone National Park emphasize the distinctive nature of this creature compared to the indigenous wildlife. According to these witnesses, the physical characteristics of Bigfoot stand out, noting the absence of any other humanoid entity in the area that possesses the ability to attain such significant heights. These observers are resolute in their claims, highlighting the unparalleled stature and features of this cryptid, firmly asserting that it is unlike any known species inhabiting the park. In the course of numerous decades, individuals visiting Yellowstone National Park have frequently recounted witnessing Bigfoot, detailing their encounters with a majestic, primate-like entity wandering the secluded wilderness regions of the park. The first-hand reports from these eyewitnesses narrate sightings of massive, two-legged beings adorned in dense fur, possessing wide shoulders and moving with a gait that bears a striking resemblance to that of a human. These accounts have sparked intense speculation and intrigue among both locals and visitors, with many intrigued by the elusive nature of these reported sightings. In a remote corner of the park, a team of hikers shared a compelling narrative about their encounter with a mysterious creature known as Bigfoot. Their vivid account described a colossal, hairy being emerging majestically from the thick foliage, its presence casting an imposing shadow that seemed to engulf the entire landscape before vanishing into the dense undergrowth. The towering figure exuded an aura of both awe and fear, leaving an indelible mark on the witnesses' memories. The hiker's tale not only stirred curiosity, but also ignited discussions about the existence of such mysterious beings in the vast wilderness. Park rangers and wildlife researchers have extensively recorded instances of sizable unidentified footprints, peculiar sounds, and various unusual occurrences that align with accounts of Bigfoot behavior. These incidents have sparked curiosity and fascination among both park visitors and scientists, leading to continuous scrutiny aimed at unraveling the mystery surrounding this mysterious creature. The ongoing sightings and evidence gathered have triggered heated debates and triggered further exploration into the existence of this strange creature, propelling a quest for conclusive answers to the enduring question of Bigfoot's existence. Yellowstone National Park not only relies on eyewitness accounts, but also boasts an array of physical evidence supposedly associated with Bigfoot. Among these, notable discoveries include casts of substantial, human-like footprints unearthed in secluded sections of the park. These prints exhibit a remarkable similarity to the tracks linked to Bigfoot sightings in various parts of North America, enhancing the mystery surrounding the elusive creature. This physical evidence, combined with eyewitness reports, contributes to the ongoing fascination and speculation regarding the existence of Bigfoot, within the context of Yellowstone National Park's diverse ecosystem. DNA analysis conducted on hair samples gathered from alleged Bigfoot encounters in Yellowstone National Park has produced fascinating outcomes. Certain samples have shown genetic traits that deviate from those of recognized species indigenous to the area, raising questions about their origin. Although the findings lack definitive conclusions, they have reignited curiosity surrounding the quest for Bigfoot within the confines of the park. This scientific examination, delving into the genetic makeup of the hair specimens retrieved from reported sightings of the elusive Bigfoot creature within the renowned Yellowstone National Park, has unveiled perplexing revelations. The fascination with Bigfoot extends beyond just the mystery surrounding its presence to the profound cultural and mythological significance attached to this mysterious creature. Throughout various societies and historical eras, narratives depicting gigantic, shaggy humanoids inhabiting remote landscapes have entranced humanity for generations, representing the wild and incomprehensible aspects of the environment. Viewers who tuned in to watch the broadcast of the Queen's funeral had an unexpected surprise when a mysterious voice unexpectedly accompanied the coverage. The unsettling narration caught many off guard, adding a mysterious and unsettling element to the solemn event. During the live broadcast of the procession escorting the deceased monarch's coffin out of London, a new transmission came onto the broadcast, resulting in a faint whispered voice that interrupted the coverage. The unexpected disruption added a mysterious element to the unfolding event, capturing the attention of viewers. In a brief pause, the male commentator, who had been closely monitoring the events on the live broadcast, suddenly lost his audio connection, and his voice was temporarily substituted by the mysterious female commentator. While it's hard to make out, she appeared to say, "The death is irreversible. The fact that she's trapped."
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
As you can see,
the death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
as you can see,
the death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
as you can see.
Some online users suggested that there was a frequency problem, and monarch insiders were trying to do something that the public wasn't meant to hear. Others carried on and questioned why someone was talking about the Queen being trapped, which caused a variety of strange theories to be put forward in order to explain what the female voice was talking about. Those who heard the mysterious woman's voice even said that the male presenter purposefully talked over her in order to block out what she was saying. The passing of a monarch is a significant event that often carries deep implications for a nation's political stability, cultural identity, and societal cohesion. Throughout history, the passings of kings and queens have been shrouded in secrecy and ritual, with monarch insiders playing a crucial role in managing the transition of power and informing the public in a manner that maintains stability and continuity. One of the primary reasons for keeping a monarch's passing a secret before informing the public is to ensure a smooth transition of power and prevent any potential power vacuum or destabilizing effects on the nation. In monarchical systems, the passing of a monarch often triggers a carefully orchestrated succession process, with designated heirs or successors poised to assume the throne. Monarch insiders, such as royal advisors, courtiers, and high-ranking officials, are entrusted with the task of managing this transition discreetly, allowing the new monarch to assume their duties without undue disruption or uncertainty. Maintaining secrecy surrounding a monarch's passing also serves to preserve the dignity and honor of the royal family, shielding them from unwanted public scrutiny or sensationalism during a period of mourning. By controlling the flow of information and adhering to established protocols and traditions, monarch insiders can ensure that the transition of power proceeds with the solemnity and decorum befitting the occasion, minimizing the risk of controversy or discord within the royal household and among the public. Additionally, keeping a monarch's passing a secret for a brief period allows for the necessary logistical arrangements to be made for the official announcement and funeral proceedings. This may include notifying key stakeholders, coordinating funeral arrangements, and preparing the necessary ceremonial rituals and protocols. Monarch insiders play a pivotal role in overseeing these preparations behind the scenes, working closely with relevant authorities and stakeholders to ensure that everything is in place for a dignified and seamless transition of power. Furthermore, maintaining confidentiality surrounding a monarch's passing can help mitigate any potential political or diplomatic repercussions that may arise from the news. In some cases, the passing of a monarch may have significant implications for the nation's internal politics or its relations with other countries. By exercising discretion and caution in the dissemination of information, monarch insiders can manage these sensitivities and navigate any potential challenges or sensitivities that may arise in the aftermath of the monarch's passing. The process of keeping this a secret typically involves a tightly controlled circle of individuals who are privy to the information. This inner circle may include close family members, trusted advisors, senior government officials, and key figures within the royal household. These individuals are bound by strict codes of confidentiality and loyalty, ensuring that sensitive information remains safeguarded until the appropriate time for its disclosure. Once the necessary arrangements have been made and the new monarch is ready to assume their duties, the official announcement of the monarch's passing is typically made to the public through established channels and protocols. This may involve issuing a formal proclamation or declaration, followed by public ceremonies and rituals to mark the transition of power and mourn the loss of the deceased monarch. The mystery of the princes in the tower is one of the most enduring and intriguing mysteries in English history. Upon his unexpected passing on the 9th of April in 1483, due to an illness that spanned approximately 3 weeks, Edward IV of England left behind a significant political vacuum. During this period, his son, the newly crowned King Edward V, was residing at Ludlow Castle, while Richard, the Duke of Gloucester and Edward's brother, was stationed at Middleham Castle in Yorkshire. News of Edward IV's demise eventually reached Gloucester around the 15th of April, with potential prior knowledge of the king's ailing health. It is documented that upon hearing the news, Gloucester made a public display of his allegiance to the new monarch by visiting York Minster to affirm his loyalty. The historical accounts, such as the Croyland Chronicle, suggest that Edward IV had appointed Gloucester as the Lord Protector before his death. Despite Edward's request, the Privy Council was not obligated to adhere to the deceased king's wishes, as exemplified by the precedent set during Henry V's reign. This situation underscores the complexity of succession and power dynamics during that pivotal historical moment. Edward V and Gloucester embarked on their journeys towards London, approaching from the west and north regions respectively, finally converging at Stony Stratford on the 29th of April. The subsequent day, Gloucester proceeded to apprehend Edward's entourage, which notably included the young boy's uncle, Anthony Woodville, 2nd Earl Rivers, along with their half-brother, Sir Richard Grey. This captive group was later transported to Pontefract Castle, situated in Yorkshire, where a grim fate awaited them on the 25th of June in the form of decapitation. Following this event, Gloucester took custody of the young prince, Edward V, which prompted a swift reaction from Elizabeth Woodville. In response, she sought refuge at Westminster Abbey with her son Richard, the Duke of York, and her daughters, in a bid to safeguard them from a similar fate. Edward V and Gloucester arrived in London together. Plans continued for Edward's official coronation, but the date was postponed from the 4th of May to the 25th of June. On the 19th of May, 1483, Edward was lodged in the Tower of London, then the traditional residence of monarchs prior to the coronation. On the 16th of June, he was joined by his younger brother Richard, Duke of York, who was previously in sanctuary. At this point, the date of Edward's coronation was indefinitely postponed by their uncle Gloucester. On Sunday, the 22nd of June, a sermon was preached by Dr. Ralph Shah, brother of the Lord Mayor of London, at St. Paul's Cross, claiming Gloucester to be the only legitimate heir of the House of York. On the 25th of June, a group of lords, knights and gentlemen petitioned Richard to take the throne. Both princes were subsequently declared illegitimate by Parliament. This was confirmed in 1484 by an Act of Parliament known as Titulus Regius. The Act stated that Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville's marriage was invalid because of Edward's pre-contract of marriage with Lady Eleanor Butler. Gloucester was crowned King Richard III of England on the 6th of July. The declaration of the boy's illegitimacy has been described by Rosemary Horrocks as an ex post facto justification for Richard's accession. Dominic Mancini, an Italian friar who visited England in the 1480s and who was in London in the spring and summer of 1484, recorded that after Richard III seized the throne, Edward and his younger brother Richard were taken into the inner apartments of the tower and then were seen less and less until they disappeared altogether. Mancini records that, during this period, Edward was regularly visited by a doctor who reported that Edward sought remission of his sins by daily confession and penance because he believed that the end was facing him. The Latin reference to Argentinus Medicus was originally translated as a Strasbourg doctor. However, Rhodes suggests it may actually refer to Dr. Argentine, whom Rhodes identifies as John Argentine, an English physician who later served as Provost of King's College, Cambridge, and as doctor to Arthur, Prince of Wales, eldest son of King Henry VII of England. Following Richard's reunion with his brother, there have been accounts suggesting that the two princes were observed engaging in playful activities within the tower premises. However, records do not document any further sightings of them beyond the summer of 1483. An unsuccessful rescue mission was undertaken towards the end of July in an effort to locate them. The destiny of the two princes continues to linger as an unsolved mystery, shrouded in mystery and speculation. Various theories and conjectures have been put forth over the years, yet no definitive answers have emerged to resolve their ultimate fate. Many scholars in the field of history speculate about the fate of the princes, with a prevailing belief that they met a tragic end. There is a view suggesting that the possible occurrence of their demise took place in the latter part of the summer of 1483. Maurice Keane puts forward the argument that the uprising against Richard III in 1483 was initially aimed at liberating Edward V and his sibling from the confines of the Tower of London before it was too late. However, as the Duke of Buckingham got involved, the focus of the rebellion shifted towards endorsing Henry Tudor, as Buckingham likely had knowledge of the prince's demise within the tower's walls. Alison Weir posits the 3rd of September 1483 as a probable date for the event. Nonetheless, Weir's findings have faced criticism for being heavily reliant on her own conjecture rather than on the ambiguous evidence she has presented in a misleading manner. The mysteries surrounding the disappearance of the two princes at the hands of a possible murder remain a subject of intricate scholarly debate, delving deep into the complexities of political dynamics and power struggles of that era. In his analysis of historical records, Clements Markham, a prominent historian, suggests that there is a possibility that the princes, believed to be Edward V and Richard, Duke of York, could have still been alive as late as July 1484. Markham draws attention to a set of regulations issued by Richard III household that specified the requirement for the children to have breakfast together. However, diverging from Markham's view, James Gairdner argues that the identity of the term "the children" is ambiguous and might not necessarily refer to the princes in question. Gairdner posits that the phrase could have been alluding to a different group of individuals. Specifically, he proposes that the children mentioned in the regulations could be Edward, Earl of Warwick, who was the son of the Duke of Clarence, along with Edward IV's two youngest daughters, Catherine and Bridget. These individuals were under the care of Richard III at Sheriff Hutton during that period. While the fate of the princes remains shrouded in mystery, the absence of conclusive evidence hinders any definitive conclusion, as acknowledged by the lack of credible and impartial sources detailing the events surrounding their disappearance. Despite the ambiguity surrounding their fate, speculations concerning their demise quickly proliferated following their vanishing act. Notably, Dominic Mancini's sole contemporary narrative depicting the prince's time in the tower stood as a rare account until its unearthing in 1934 at the Municipal Library in Lille. Subsequent chronicles penned post the rise of Henry Tudor often carry accusations of bias or Tudor-influenced narratives, casting doubt on their reliability. The narrative's scarcity adds layers of complexity to the long-standing mystery surrounding the prince's untimely disappearance, inviting a deeper exploration of the intricacies and implications surrounding their mysterious case. Brandon Fugel, serving as the chairman of Colliers International in Utah, holds the prestigious position of being the owner of the renowned Skinwalker Ranch, solidifying his status as a leading figure in the business and real estate domain of the Intermountain West region. Apart from his successful career, Brandon has nurtured a deep-rooted curiosity since his youth regarding the mysterious phenomena that envelop our universe, particularly pondering the existence of extraterrestrial life forms. His intriguing journey led him to acquire Skinwalker Ranch in 2016 from the eminent aerospace magnate Robert Bigelow, with the primary aim of delving into and comprehensively exploring the bizarre and inexplicable occurrences that have persisted on the property for over 2 centuries. This acquisition marked the commencement of an in-depth investigation and study into the mysteries that shroud Skinwalker Ranch, symbolizing Brandon's commitment to unraveling the secrets hidden within its mysterious confines. In his role as the lead researcher and chief scientific authority at Skinwalker Ranch, Eric Bard has taken charge of implementing a state-of-the-art surveillance network that maintains constant vigilance over the entire premises, allowing for thorough monitoring of the area. Furthermore, Bard assumes the leadership of all investigative activities conducted on the ranch. With a decade-long history of collaborating with Brandon on diverse scientific initiatives, Bard not only brings a profound reservoir of expertise, but also demonstrates an insatiable curiosity when it comes to delving into the peculiar occurrences documented on Skinwalker Ranch. This wealth of experience and insatiable thirst for knowledge significantly enhances Bard's approach towards unraveling the mysteries surrounding the ranch, making him a pivotal figure in the exploration of the strange phenomena observed. Eric has recently made the assertion that he is engaged in communication with an entity located at the Skinwalker Ranch. Eric asked out loud, "If you have something to show me, show me," and while doing this, the surveillance cameras began malfunctioning, and his computer monitor underwent a transformation, displaying the digitally crafted message, "I living." This peculiar occurrence left Eric intrigued and somewhat perplexed as he pondered the significance behind these unexpected technological anomalies. In the realm of precognitive intelligence, observers have noted a phenomenon where entities display characteristics akin to the development stage of an infant while possessing remarkable abilities perceptible to us. This peculiar nature possibly accounts for the apparent irregularity and lack of logical coherence in their interactions. These entities seem to engage not only with cognitive processes, but also with other forms of intelligence. Many said that prior to the point at which Brandon and Eric's declaration of I living occurs, their encounters may have primarily involved reactions to the entity's mere presence, akin to encountering byproducts of its existence. It appears that the entity remains unaware of the team's presence, going about its routine existence uninterrupted, akin to an individual bothered by the persistent buzzing of a fly. Meanwhile, the team observes these manifestations passively, realizing that the entity, or entities, exist in a state of obliviousness regarding their monitoring. This scenario suggests a dynamic where the team's intrusion interrupts the entity's uneventful existence, compelling it to react to the unexpected disturbances caused by the team's probing actions. In the realm of the supernatural encounters documented at Skinwalker Ranch, a particularly unsettling phenomenon is the frequency of ghostly manifestations recounted by individuals brave enough to explore its sacred expanse. Those who have tread upon its revered terrain have shared harrowing tales of coming face to face with elusive silhouettes shrouded in darkness, disembodied murmurs resonating through the obscurity, and unsettling specters that materialize fleetingly before dissolving into the ether right in front of their gaze. These ethereal occurrences have perplexed and intrigued visitors, adding an additional layer of mystery and intrigue to the mysterious reputation of Skinwalker Ranch. In a chilling recount shared by a previous ranch caretaker, a vivid depiction emerges of encountering the spectral presence of a Native American man positioned quietly at the boundary of the estate, his gaze ablaze with an unearthly fervor. As narrated by the caretaker, the ethereal manifestations seem to be vigilantly overseeing the grounds, almost as if safeguarding it against trespassers or attempting to communicate a message from the realm beyond. This haunting experience underscores a deep connection to the spiritual essence of the land, inviting contemplation on the interplay between the living and the spectral world and the timeless narratives that echo through such encounters. In the accounts provided by additional witnesses, there were vivid descriptions of encountering the apparitions of ranchers and settlers long departed from this earthly realm. These ethereal manifestations were observed meandering through the barren landscape, seemingly in pursuit of peace or closure. Some individuals have recounted hearing eerie phantom footfalls resonating in the stillness of the night, while others have shared experiencing an overwhelming wave of apprehension and discomfort that appeared to be rooted deep within the ground itself. The reported encounters not only suggest a spectral presence, but also hint at a lingering essence of unresolved matters that tie these spirits to their former existence. Skinwalker Ranch is not only rumored to be inhabited by ghostly apparitions, but also believed to be home to a myriad of other supernatural beings. Among these entities are shadow people, poltergeists, and even demonic entities. The prevailing lore suggests that these malevolent spirits dwell in the darkness, strategically positioned to trap unassuming visitors in a realm fraught with fright and anguish. The eerie legends surrounding the ranch paint a vivid picture of a place where mysterious and sinister forces coexist, instilling a sense of fear and foreboding among those who dare to explore the area. Despite the numerous accounts documenting instances of alleged ghost sightings and paranormal occurrences, there exists a persistent cohort of skeptics who refuse to be swayed, as they attribute these purported phenomena to acts of deception, psychological illusions, or the profound impact of suggestion. Nevertheless, individuals who have directly encountered these inexplicable events attest to the undeniable existence of supernatural forces, causing the mystery surrounding Skinwalker Ranch to persist, defying conventional and logical elucidation. In an extensive quest to unveil the mysteries surrounding the reported ghost sightings at Skinwalker Ranch, a plethora of inquiries have been carried out spanning diverse approaches, including rigorous scientific research endeavors to spontaneous and informal ghost hunting expeditions. The enduring mystery of Skinwalker Ranch persists, captivating the imagination and curiosity of many, with its inscrutable nature defying easy explanation and leaving a profound sense of intrigue in its wake. At Skinwalker Ranch, there is a widespread belief that the eerie occurrences on the property could be interconnected with its tumultuous past, characterized by a tapestry of narratives involving bloodshed, anguish, and deceit. Conversely, some individuals posit that the unexplained phenomena witnessed there might stem from elemental forces or mysterious scientific concepts that challenge the boundaries of our existing knowledge of the cosmos. This mysterious location has been steeped in a history overflowing with unsettling events that have baffled and intrigued observers for generations. Skinwalker Ranch occupies a unique and significant position within the realm of paranormal investigations, where the distinction between the visible and the invisible realms becomes blurred. It serves as a site where the strange nature of the afterlife is laid bare, inviting those curious enough to delve into its mysteries. This location, shrouded in both fascination and uncertainty, continues to intrigue individuals with a keen interest in the supernatural and the unexplained. As long as Skinwalker Ranch remains a symbol of the unknown, the ethereal encounters and otherworldly events that permeate its mysterious depths will persist in captivating the curiosity and fascination of both believers and skeptics, perpetuating a legacy that transcends mere speculation. The origins of Skinwalker Ranch date back centuries, long before its name became synonymous with the unexplained. According to local folklore, the land was once inhabited by the Navajo people, who believed it to be cursed by malevolent spirits known as skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities capable of assuming the forms of animals and humans alike. Tales of strange lights in the sky, shadowy figures stalking the night, and livestock mutilations became woven into the fabric of Navajo legend, casting a pall of fear and superstition over the area. In more recent times, Skinwalker Ranch gained notoriety following its purchase by aerospace entrepreneur Robert Bigelow in the 1990s. Bigelow, intrigued by reports of paranormal activity on the property, funded a research project led by scientists and investigators tasked with uncovering the truth behind the ranch's mysterious reputation. What they encountered defied explanation. Reports of bizarre phenomena abound at Skinwalker Ranch, ranging from UFO sightings and strange lights in the sky to encounters with cryptid creatures and poltergeist activity. Witnesses have described seeing glowing orbs hovering above the ground, inexplicable cattle mutilations, and encounters with mysterious beings that defy classification. Electronic equipment is said to malfunction in the presence of these anomalies, adding to the sense of unease and uncertainty that pervades the ranch. One of the most well-documented incidents at Skinwalker Ranch occurred in the late 1990s, when a team of researchers observed a series of inexplicable events over the course of several weeks. According to their reports, they witnessed unidentified flying objects performing aerial maneuvers beyond the capabilities of known aircraft, heard disembodied voices emanating from empty rooms, and experienced intense feelings of dread and foreboding while exploring the property. Despite their best efforts to document and study the phenomena, the researchers were unable to provide definitive explanations for what they had witnessed. Skeptics dismissed their accounts as the product of overactive imaginations or hoaxes, while believers saw them as confirmation of the ranch's paranormal reputation. In the years since, Skinwalker Ranch has continued to attract attention from both the scientific community and the public at large. Numerous television documentaries, books, and articles have been devoted to exploring its mysteries, and interest in the property shows no signs of waning. However, attempts to study Skinwalker Ranch have been met with numerous challenges, including allegations of government involvement and interference. Some believe that the property may be the site of clandestine government experiments, or that it holds secrets related to extraterrestrial contact. Others speculate that the phenomena observed at the ranch may be the result of natural forces or as yet unknown scientific principles. Whatever the truth may be, Skinwalker Ranch remains a tantalizing mystery, an enduring symbol of humanity's fascination with the unknown and our relentless quest for answers in the face of the unexplained. Whether it is a hotbed of paranormal activity or simply a case of collective imagination run wild, the allure of Skinwalker Ranch continues to captivate the minds of those who dare to explore its shadowy depths. The skies above Simi Valley, California, are not immune to the mysterious presence of unidentified flying objects. Among the countless reports of strange aerial phenomena, one particular incident stands out, a sighting that captivated onlookers and brought traffic to a standstill. The sighting of a triangle UFO hovering above Simi Valley not only ignited curiosity, but also raised questions about the nature of these mysterious objects. It was an ordinary evening in Simi Valley, when residents and commuters were suddenly thrust into an extraordinary spectacle. Witnesses reported seeing a large, triangular-shaped object hovering silently in the sky. As the mysterious aircraft hovered above, its presence seemed to defy conventional explanation, leaving onlookers in awe and disbelief. The incident quickly drew the attention of motorists and pedestrians alike, causing traffic to grind to a halt as drivers pulled over to observe the strange phenomenon. Commuters abandoned their routines, their attention fixated on the mysterious object suspended in the air above them. The sudden appearance of this mysterious object brought a sense of wonder and apprehension to the community. Various people shared photographs to the Mutual UFO Network, a website dedicated to posting and investigating UFO sightings. One observer recounted that the object remained stationary, prominently visible against the backdrop, prompting a moment of disbelief due to its remarkable clarity. The individual emphasized how the object's presence was striking and distinct, compelling them to take a second look to verify its reality. Upon returning home in the evening, a different observer recounted their experience of encountering the unidentified object. Despite their keen interest in the sighting, a search for related news updates yielded no results, prompting them to resort to social media platforms for potential community discussions. Surprisingly, there was an absence of posts or mentions regarding the event, leading them to speculate about the lack of mainstream media coverage. It was intriguing for them that even though the object was visibly present, its presence had not garnered attention from conventional news outlets. The individual inferred from local discussions that other residents were talking about the occurrence, highlighting the disparity between public interest and media reportage. The discrepancy between the public discourse and media silence added an extra layer of mystery to the sighting, deepening their curiosity about the unacknowledged event. Eyewitness accounts of the triangle UFO varied but shared common themes. Many described the object as having 3 distinct lights arranged in a triangular formation, with a dark metallic underside that seemed to absorb the ambient light. Some witnesses reported feeling a sense of unease or foreboding in the presence of the UFO, while others were filled with a sense of wonder and curiosity. Despite the widespread interest in the sighting, attempts to capture photographic or video evidence were largely unsuccessful. The UFO appeared to emit a strange energy field that interfered with electronic devices, leaving witnesses with only their memories to recount the extraordinary event. Nevertheless, the vivid recollections of those who witnessed the sighting served as a reminder of the enduring mystery surrounding UFOs and their potential implications for humanity. In the aftermath of the sighting, speculation ran rampant as to the origin and purpose of the triangle UFO. Some suggested that it could be a top-secret military aircraft undergoing testing in the area, while others entertained more exotic theories involving extraterrestrial visitors. Skeptics dismissed the sighting as a hoax or misidentification of a conventional aircraft, but for those who witnessed the event firsthand, the experience left an indelible impression on their perception of the world around them. One individual stated that the object is likely a black project aircraft that belongs to the military. But as many pointed out, why would you take a piece of technology that hasn't officially been declassified and hover it over a busy road where hundreds of people would see it? Many agreed and said this seems like a strange thing to do, adding that the military owns acres of land that they could have done this on. Why risk showing off a piece of technology that hasn't been declassified to the general public? Interestingly, this isn't the only time that one of these triangle-shaped aircrafts has been witnessed above this region. California, with its diverse landscapes and vibrant communities, has long been a focal point for UFO sightings, particularly those involving triangle-shaped objects. From the sun-kissed beaches of Southern California to the towering redwoods of the north, the Golden State boasts a rich tapestry of UFO encounters that have captured the imaginations of residents and visitors alike. Among the myriad reports of unidentified aerial phenomena, sightings of triangle UFOs stand out as particularly intriguing, fueling speculation about their origin and purpose. The allure of California as a hotspot for triangle UFOs can be attributed to several factors, including its expansive airspace, strategic military installations, and vibrant cultural zeitgeist. The state's proximity to the Pacific Ocean provides ample opportunities for UFO sightings, with witnesses often reporting sightings near coastal regions and naval bases. Additionally, California's diverse terrain, ranging from sprawling deserts to densely forested mountains, offers ideal conditions for UFO activity, providing ample cover for clandestine operations and aerial maneuvers. One of the most compelling aspects of triangle UFO sightings in California is their consistency and frequency. Reports of triangular-shaped objects traversing the night sky have been documented across the state for decades, with witnesses describing similar characteristics such as silent propulsion, low-altitude flight, and triangular light formations. These recurring patterns suggest a deliberate and systematic presence of triangle UFOs in California's airspace, prompting speculation about their origin and purpose. In Southern California, the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles serves as a hub for UFO activity, with numerous sightings reported in the vicinity of the city and its surrounding suburbs. Witnesses have described triangle UFOs hovering over iconic landmarks such as the Hollywood Sign and Griffith Observatory, as well as remote desert regions like Joshua Tree National Park. The densely populated nature of the Los Angeles area provides ample opportunities for witnesses to spot and document UFO activity, contributing to the region's reputation as a hotspot for triangle UFO sightings. Further north, in the San Francisco Bay Area, reports of triangle UFOs have also been prevalent, with witnesses describing sightings near Silicon Valley's tech hubs and the rugged coastal cliffs of Marin County. The region's proximity to major military installations such as Travis Air Force Base and Moffett Federal Airfield has led some to speculate about the possible involvement of classified aircraft or experimental technology in these sightings. However, the clandestine nature of military operations in the area makes it difficult to ascertain the true nature of these encounters. In addition to civilian eyewitness accounts, California's triangle UFO sightings have also attracted the attention of government agencies and independent researchers. The state's rich history of aerospace innovation and military activity has led some experts to speculate that triangle UFOs may be linked to classified military projects or advanced aircraft prototypes. However, the lack of official acknowledgement or disclosure from government authorities only adds to the mystery surrounding these sightings, fueling speculation and theories among UFO enthusiasts. One of the most famous triangle UFO incidents in California occurred in 1997, when thousands of witnesses observed a massive triangular-shaped object flying over the state. As California continues to be a focal point for triangle UFO sightings, the state's residents remain vigilant, keeping watchful eyes on the night sky in hopes of capturing evidence of these elusive aerial phenomena. Whether these sightings are the result of secret military experiments, advanced technology, or extraterrestrial visitors remains open to speculation. However, one thing is certain: the allure of California as a hotspot for triangle UFOs continues to captivate the imagination and curiosity of UFO enthusiasts around the world. One thing that many can't explain about these triangular objects is how they're able to hover motionless in the sky without making a sound, and it's caused some to question what type of technology is being hidden from us. The concealment of UFO technology from the public could be motivated by various factors, including national security concerns, technological superiority, and geopolitical advantage. If UFOs possess advanced propulsion systems or capabilities beyond conventional aircraft, governments may seek to harness this technology for military purposes. By keeping such technology classified, nations could maintain a strategic advantage over potential adversaries, safeguarding sensitive capabilities from falling into the wrong hands. In the vast expanse of Antarctica, where ice stretches as far as the eye can see, a Google Earth satellite circled silently above the frozen continent. Among its countless snapshots of desolate glaciers and snow-covered peaks, something unexpected caught someone's attention. The satellite had captured an anomaly, a series of geometric shapes poking through the ice. At first glance, it appeared to be nothing more than natural formations, sculpted by the relentless forces of wind and snow. But upon closer inspection, the shapes seemed strangely deliberate, resembling the outlines of buildings or structures. The satellite transmitted the images back to Earth, where they were analyzed by online users. As they zoomed in on the mysterious shapes, they realized they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, questioning whether it was an ancient settlement preserved beneath the ice for millennia. The images elicited diverse responses from viewers, with differing interpretations emerging. Some observers likened the object to a massive ship, whereas others suggested it resembled the remnants of an ancient city. Speculation arose that these findings might serve as evidence of early human civilization, reaching this location and commencing the construction of monumental edifices. The wide-ranging reactions to the photographs underscore the intriguing nature of the discovery, sparking debates on the possible origins and significance of the object captured in the images. The image elicited diverse responses from observers, with some likening the object to a massive fortress or megalith, while others suggested it bore resemblance to the ruins of an ancient city. Speculation arose that it might serve as evidence of ancient human activity in the area, indicating a history of constructing substantial architectural marvels. The varying perceptions of this intriguing discovery sparked debates regarding its origins and purpose, highlighting the strange nature of the structure and prompting further investigation into its historical significance. If an individual were to be presented with this visual without any accompanying information, they might perceive it as a structure situated in a snowy environment. The absence of contextual details could lead them to interpret the image as that of a building covered in snow. When people mention a discovery in a remote location such as Antarctica, most tend to dismiss it without much consideration. This reaction is typically triggered by the perceived insignificance of the location mentioned. Science is fundamentally centered on the continuous pursuit of knowledge and the perpetual refinement of our understanding of the Earth's history. It serves as a cornerstone for unraveling the mysteries of our planet's past, akin to meticulously examining the intricate details of a grand architectural structure. In continuation of this discussion, some individuals elaborated on the fact that instances of peculiar findings in Antarctica are not unprecedented. Conversely, there was a consensus among others regarding the elusive nature of many discoveries made in this region. Nevertheless, this particular discovery stands out due to its remarkable level of clarity and detail. The historical context of mysterious discoveries in Antarctica was underscored by a segment of commentators, suggesting a pattern of mysterious findings over time. The distinctiveness of this specific revelation lies in its unambiguous depiction, allowing for the discernment of intricate features that have previously remained. The peculiar configuration was likened to tanks by an individual, sparking speculation about the potential existence of a military presence in Antarctica. This observation raised concerns and prompted questions regarding the purpose and implications of such formations in the region. During various historical epochs, there were instances where nations ventured to distant lands to erect structures as strategic assets against adversaries. This alternative perspective suggests that these constructions could have been orchestrated by early travelers upon their arrival in these locations. Such constructions were believed to provide a competitive edge in conflicts. This narrative implies that the act of building these structures reveals strategic foresight in anticipating potential confrontations with enemies. Moreover, it hints at the innate human tendency to establish territorial advantages by utilizing architectural feats. In the recent past, there has been a growing discourse surrounding peculiar occurrences observed in the vicinity of Antarctica that has sparked curiosity and raised questions about the presence of these strange objects. This discussion has gained momentum as reports of anomalous sightings and events in the region have surfaced, prompting a deep-seated wonderment regarding the nature and purpose of these anomalies. In the vicinity, certain individuals have asserted the existence of megalithic constructions, and alternate interpretations of satellite images indicate peculiar formations embedded in the icy terrain. The contention regarding the presence of megalithic structures in the region has sparked debates and speculation among researchers. The presence of enigmatic objects scattered throughout the Antarctic continent has been a perplexing puzzle for online investigators. These mysterious findings have captured the interest and curiosity of researchers and adventurers alike, sparking a wave of speculation and intrigue into their origins. In the vast expanses of the Antarctic, intriguing discoveries have been made by online researchers who have come across images depicting sizable circular formations concealed within ice caverns and isolated regions. Additionally, detailed satellite imagery has revealed massive rock protrusions that have piqued the interest of numerous theorists, raising speculations about potential crashed objects. These mysterious structures give rise to intricate patterns of shadows that appear to be intricately aligned, prompting further investigation and speculation within the online community. The presence of these mysterious circular shapes and massive outcroppings in such remote areas has sparked curiosity and fueled discussions about their origin and significance. Enthusiasts have also claimed that there is evidence of trapped objects deep within the glacial formations of the icy continent, trapped there and waiting to be uncovered by research teams stationed on the southern continent. Antarctica captivates the curiosity of many due to its status as one of the least investigated regions on Earth, with only a handful of individuals having set foot on this icy continent. According to reports from amateur explorers, there are multiple areas across Antarctica where the ice is beginning to thaw, leading to the emergence of peculiar structures. This melting phenomenon has sparked intrigue and questions among researchers, shedding light on previously hidden environments and triggering a surge in exploration activities in the quest to unravel the mysteries concealed beneath the icy surface of the continent. In Antarctica, a growing concept gaining prominence pertains to the conduct of tests in this isolated region. The rationale behind conducting experiments in Antarctica stems from its remote location, prompting speculation on the significant military presence in the area. The remote and desolate nature of Antarctica has attracted scientific interest, with experimental activities being a focal point amidst the icy expanse. This phenomenon has sparked discussions regarding the strategic significance and implications of utilizing such an extreme environment for testing purposes. While some individuals remain unconvinced by these images, suggesting that the perceived objects are most probably rocks, there are dissenting opinions within the community. Some individuals expanded on this notion by postulating that unusual occurrences in Antarctica are not unprecedented, suggesting a familiarity with mysterious phenomena in the region. Conversely, some contended that while many discoveries in Antarctica remain shrouded in ambiguity, the particular finding under discussion exhibits a remarkable level of clarity and detail, enabling observers to discern significant aspects. Diverging further, a different perspective emerged, proposing that throughout certain historical periods, nations ventured to remote locales to erect structures as strategic assets in potential conflicts. Speculations arose, suggesting that this structure may have been erected by early explorers upon their initial forays into this terrain, hinting at human involvement in its construction. Scientists have just revealed that two massive 600-mile megastructures have been detected inside our planet. Seismic wave data analysis has uncovered extensive formations located approximately 2,900 kilometers below Earth's surface, precisely at the juncture where the Earth's molten core meets the solid mantle. Do-yeon Kim and his research team at the University of Maryland have conducted a thorough analysis of data gathered from numerous significant earthquakes. Their study has unveiled a previously undiscovered geological feature lying beneath the volcanic Marquesas Islands, situated in the expanse of the South Pacific Ocean. This newly identified structure, termed as an ultra-low velocity zone, spans an impressive diameter of approximately 1,000 kilometers, or 620 miles. Ultra-low velocity zones, known for their slower passage of seismic waves, remain shrouded in mystery regarding their composition. The intriguing aspect lies in the uncertainty surrounding whether these zones possess a chemical makeup distinct from that of Earth's iron-nickel alloy core and silicate rock mantle, or exhibit varying thermal characteristics. Currently, the exact nature and components of these structures continue to evade scientific understanding. In an extensive study, scientists unraveled the configuration through a meticulous examination of 7,000 datasets, documenting seismic movements originating from earthquakes in the vicinity of the Pacific Ocean basin spanning from 1990 to 2018. All these seismic events had a magnitude exceeding 6.5 on the Richter scale and originated at depths surpassing 200 kilometers beneath the Earth's surface. This thorough investigation shed light on the intricacies of the seismic activities occurring within this region during the specified time frame. The research team conducted a detailed analysis of echoes produced by shear waves, a particular type of seismic wave, while they traversed the interface between the Earth's core and mantle. Discerning between the shear wave echoes and random noise on a single seismogram posed a significant challenge. To tackle this issue, the researchers leveraged a sophisticated machine learning algorithm that was originally developed for detecting patterns within vast datasets in the field of astronomy. This innovative approach allowed them to discern subtle trends and anomalies within the seismic data, opening up new possibilities for understanding the complexities of the Earth's interior structure and dynamics. Through the concurrent examination of a multitude of shear waves, a profound discovery surfaced concerning a massive formation lying beneath the Marquesas Islands. Furthermore, the research team uncovered that the ultra-low velocity zone previously identified below Hawaii extends significantly beyond initial estimations, indicating a larger expanse than initially ascertained. Studying the Earth's mantle holds significant importance, as stressed by Kim, due to its potential to provide insights into the evolution and transformations of the planet's structures throughout various epochs. Kim highlights the Earth's mantle as the region where convection processes take place, serving as the principal driver for phenomena such as hotspot volcanism and the movement of lithospheric plates. Identifying ultra-low velocity zones serves as a crucial tool in unraveling the mysterious origins of certain volcanoes that potentially stem from deep within the Earth, shedding light on the mysterious composition of Earth's lower mantle. The ultra-low velocity zone is one of the most mysterious and least understood regions within the Earth's mantle. Despite its significance in shaping the planet's geodynamic processes, our knowledge about these zones remains limited, sparking scientific intrigue and prompting further investigation. Ultra-low velocity zones are anomalous regions found deep within the Earth's mantle, located just above the core-mantle boundary. These zones exhibit seismic velocities significantly slower than the surrounding mantle, making them distinct features within the Earth's interior. While these zones have been identified using seismic tomography, which maps the Earth's interior using seismic waves, their exact composition, structure, and formation mechanisms remain poorly understood. One of the primary reasons for our limited understanding of ultra-low velocity zones is their inaccessible location deep beneath the Earth's surface. Situated approximately 2,900 kilometers beneath the Earth's crust, these zones are beyond the reach of direct observation and exploration. Consequently, scientists rely on indirect methods, such as seismic imaging and mineral physics experiments, to infer properties of ultra-low velocity zones. Seismic observations have provided valuable insights into the existence and distribution of ultra-low velocity zones. By analyzing the behavior of seismic waves as they pass through the Earth's interior, scientists have detected regions of anomalously low seismic velocities consistent with these zones. These observations suggest that they may play a crucial role in influencing the propagation of seismic waves and the dynamics of mantle convection. Despite these advancements, significant gaps remain in our understanding of this area. One of the key challenges is determining the composition and mineralogy of ultra-low velocity zones. While various hypotheses have been proposed, including the presence of dense minerals such as iron-rich silicates or the accumulation of subducted oceanic crust and sediments, conclusive evidence is lacking. Without direct sampling or imaging of this region, confirming their composition remains a daunting task. The Earth's core, located beneath the rocky mantle and outer crust, is one of the most mysterious and least accessible regions of our planet. Comprising primarily iron and nickel, the core plays a fundamental role in shaping Earth's geophysical processes and magnetic field. Despite its significance, our understanding of the Earth's core remains limited, and many mysteries persist. The Earth's core is divided into two distinct regions, the outer core and the inner core. The outer core, composed primarily of liquid iron and nickel, extends from a depth of about 2,890 kilometers to 5,100 kilometers beneath the Earth's surface. Beneath the outer core lies the inner core, a solid metallic sphere with a radius of approximately 1,200 kilometers. One of the primary methods used to study the Earth's core is seismic tomography, which involves analyzing the behavior of seismic waves as they travel through the Earth's interior. By monitoring the arrival times and paths of seismic waves generated by earthquakes, scientists can infer properties of the core, such as its composition, density, and temperature distribution. Seismic studies have revealed valuable insights into the structure and dynamics of the Earth's core. For example, seismic waves travel at different velocities depending on the material they pass through, allowing scientists to distinguish between the solid inner core and the liquid outer core. Additionally, seismic observations have provided evidence of density variations and seismic anomalies within the core, shedding light on its complex internal structure. Another method used to study the Earth's core is geomagnetic field analysis. Earth's magnetic field is generated by the motion of molten iron in the outer core, a process known as the geodynamo mechanism. By monitoring changes in Earth's magnetic field over time, scientists can infer properties of the core, such as its composition, conductivity, and fluid dynamics. Despite these advancements, many mysteries surrounding the Earth's core remain unresolved. One of the key challenges is determining the exact composition of the core and understanding its behavior under extreme conditions of temperature and pressure. While experiments conducted under high pressure and high temperature conditions provide valuable insights, direct sampling of the core is beyond the reach of current technology. Another mystery of the Earth's core is the origin of Earth's magnetic field reversals, which occur irregularly over geological timescales. These reversals involve a weakening and reversal of the magnetic field polarity, with the magnetic north and south poles swapping positions. While the geodynamo mechanism provides a plausible explanation for the generation of Earth's magnetic field, the exact processes leading to magnetic field reversals remain poorly understood. Furthermore, the dynamics of the Earth's core are influenced by complex interactions between convective motions, thermal gradients, and chemical processes. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for predicting changes in Earth's magnetic field and seismic activity. However, modeling the behavior of the core requires sophisticated numerical simulations and high-performance computing resources, presenting significant challenges for researchers. So, what do you make of this mysterious discovery? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.